Okay, so we're here with one of the biggest Hot Wheel collectors in Singapore. He's got a very interesting story to tell.
Yo, what's up, everyone?
Can you just now you were telling us how you started your YouTube channel when you were in secondary school.
So
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so back then when I was still like starting off collecting Hot Wheels cars,
Yeah.
I watch YouTube channels. I watch other YouTubers
Yeah.
do unboxings or reviewing Hot Wheels car, and then I thought to myself like, hey, I want to do that. I want to try that. So back then my videos, when I created my
How young were you back then?
like secondary too. So that makes me 14.
You
years old.
started your YouTube channel in Sec 2.
14, around 14. Oh my god, that was 10 years ago. But yeah, that was in secondary 2, secondary 3, around there.
And that started because you saw other people doing YouTube videos.
Yes, that's right.
And how did you start filming and everything?
So after seeing a couple of those videos, I thought, I want to try that. Let's do it. So obviously when I started off, my videos weren't polished, I would say. It was just me recording videos of me not knowing what to say.
Yes.
But eventually I got the hang of it, you know, through YouTube. When I watch other videos, I learned to improve my video editing skills.
Okay.
It was like self-taught. And then from there, it just branched out to other form of videos and grew my YouTube channel from there.
How many subscribers you have on YouTube right now?
So currently my YouTube is at 76,000 subscribers.
And how young are you?
I am 24 this year.
This is a very, very crazy story. Considering you're 24, you started your YouTube channel when you were in Sec 2.
That's right, yeah.
Who taught you how to edit and film the videos?
Honestly, it was just a matter of trial and error. I think partially like when I watch other YouTubers, the way they edit, the way they cut. So as I was mentioning to you earlier, simple things like the breath, like when people are like, oh, hey, what's up guys? Today we're doing this. When you cut out the breath, I noticed like, hey, the video looks cleaner that way.
Okay.
So I learned to incorporate that in my videos along with other editing styles. So it was all self-taught.
All self-taught starting
self-taught.
when you were in Sec 2?
Yep.
So you were telling me that there was a turning point in your YouTube career where one video went crazy viral.
Yes.
Can you tell us that story?
Yeah, so the TLDR is I was at Toys R Us.
Yeah.
And I so happened to see this boy lingering around the Hot Wheels section. I was like, hey, what the boy doing?
Okay.
So when the boy went away, I saw some like destroyed packaging in the car and the boxes were missing. So he was like stealing the cars, So I lingered around more and I guess like my inner Singaporean kicked in. And I just whipped out my phone and started recording him. And disclaimer, I actually covered his face for the video, no worries. And I just started recording him, like, hey, what is this kid doing? So I eventually confronted him and told him like, hey, don't do this. What you're doing is wrong. If you continue to do this, I'll tell the employees.
Was he very scared when you confronted him?
I hope not, because that wasn't my intention, I felt like I tried to talk to him I wasn't like shouting or aggressive at him. So
how young was the boy?
Oh, we're talking about like a P3, P4 kid, quite young kid. Quite sad to hear. At such a young age, already thought of doing that.
Yeah. And so what happened after you confronted him and then?
So after talking to him, I walked away. Hopefully maybe he stopped.
Yeah.
But the sad truth is he still continued lingering around that area, and I don't know why, but I just felt like I kind of like gave up at that point.
Then what did you do?
So afterwards, I don't remember, it's so long ago, but I just remember like cutting off the video and thought, hey, you know what, this kid's not going to listen.
Yep.
And I was done looking at the Hot Wheels, by the way.
Yeah.
So I just went out of the store eventually.
Oh, so you did. So did he eventually steal the car? Did the boy?
I hope not. The kid, wherever you are right now, I hope I don't know where the car go. I hope not. It's not the right thing to do, so I hope not.
Okay, so you were telling me just now like you have an approximate 1,000 cars, Hot Wheel cars in your collection.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you remember every single one of them?
Yeah, so in a way, I don't remember them, but like I think we were talking about earlier, like if you show me a car, you're like, hey, do you have this? I can tell right off the bat, like, oh, I already have that. Or I'll be like, oh, no, I don't have that car in my collection.
Then how do you determine how many cars you want to buy every week or every month? How do you set a budget and how do you decide what you want to buy and what not to buy?
Well, that's a really good question. Because my motto, right, is I usually buy what I like. Within my means, of course, because I'm still a uni student, realistically speaking. So usually I buy the cars that I like. There are times where a bunch of good cars will be released within that same month.
What is the definition of a good car?
Oh, a good car is one that is, I think the three main factors is budget, right? It has to be pretty affordable. They can be good cars, but they're like worth a lot of money and I feel like that's out of my reach. It has to look good. I think nice little details, looks realistic, and the quality, definitely the quality. Whether the car has opening doors, you know, some cars have opening doors, hood, that kind of thing. And I feel like those are the three main things that make a car enjoyable. You know, that
So
makes
you're
me
telling
wanna buy
me
it.
within Hot Wheels itself, they have different quality.
Yeah, so Hot Wheels for itself, we have main lines, which is the cheaper ones, but we have more of the expensive, rare ones as well. But
Okay.
of course, aside from Hot Wheels, I do collect other various brands as well.
Yeah.
There's other brands other than Hot Wheels that I collect.
So based on the three factors, you decide how many cars you're going to buy.
Partially, honestly, sometimes it's just like a touch and feel thing. It really depends. Sometimes I'll be like, okay, I might want to get this. Okay, maybe I'll put this on hold first. It really depends on the feel. It depends on like my mood sometimes.
Then has there been times where you wanted to buy a car and you didn't buy, and then you go back to the shop and it's sold out or it's no longer there?
I think there's been a few cases where I'm like, hey, I finally have the money to get the car, but then the
Wait,
shop,
how much is one?
Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Oh.
When you say have the money, it feels like wow, you have to save for many months. How much is one?
So there was this one particular car. It was like $80. Not too shabby, you know, but
It's
it was
the
an
small
$80
one.
car. The Hot Wheels, just
Oh,
one
okay,
Hot Wheels
okay,
car.
okay.
It was this from a discontinued series. That's why it was worth a lot. Yeah. So I remember going to the shop, asked the shop owner, "Hey, do you all have this?"
Yeah.
They're like, "No, we literally just sold that yesterday." I was
Oh.
like, "Hey, bring it," you know. Like,
Oh man.
yeah.
So you were
So that's
saving the
happened.
$80 to buy that car.
Yes, this was years ago. Yeah, I was saving up for that car, but you know, I feel like it wasn't too bad. I feel like okay, it's not too bad. I think can always find it
Yes.
another time. Yeah.
And then does that change your approach to how you buy cars in the future?
Like-
have that changed your approach? That means that whenever you see a car you like, you always remember the one that you regret not buying, and then you just buy. Has that changed your buying patterns?
I would like to think no, hopefully, because I feel like as I'm growing old, because I've been at this hobby for quite a long time. I make it sound like I'm old like that, but I mean personally, I feel like I've been at it for a long time. So as I grow older, right,
Yes.
I would like to think that I'm more like money wise nowadays. So yes, there's definitely some L's I take. You know, I win some, I lose some. So if I can't afford a car, I know that it's not within my means.
Yeah.
Then I won't brood too much over it. I'll be like, hey, it's okay. I'll just get it another time. So it's not too bad for me, I would think.
Is this also considered an investment?
Oh, so that aspect of things, totally different ball game.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. It
is.
Hot Wheels can be seen as an investment, just like other, you know, like sneakers and Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
That's like the big hype right now. Hot Wheels can be an investment.
Okay, since you say that, let's have an approximate figure.
All right.
So how much have you spent on your 1,000 cars so far?
Okay, so before I answer the question, right, I forgot to mention one thing.
Yes.
I actually peaked at around 3,000 cars last time.
Yeah.
So last time I had 3,000 cars, but they were all like the cheap ones, and I felt I didn't really like it anymore.
So at your peak, you had
I
3,000
had
cars.
3,000 cars. My drawers, my cabinets, under my bed. It was full of boxes, full of cars.
Oh
and
man.
it was crazy. So now, thankfully, I managed to downsize it to 1,000
How do you
cars.
downsize? You give away?
Oh, so over the past few years, I do give away sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's mainly through selling it, just selling
Yeah,
it slowly, bit by bit, over like the past few years.
Are
I
you able
would
to
say.
recover the cost when you sell it?
So the truth is, for a lot of these cars, even I question myself, like,
Yeah.
why did I buy this in the first place? Like,
Yeah.
I think my taste changed.
Yeah.
So for a lot of these cars, sadly, no. I
Yeah.
do sell them cheaper than how much I bought them for. Fun
Yes.
fact, Hot Wheels is like $4 in Singapore. So sometimes I sell for $2, maybe even $1.
Wait, so
Yeah.
you're telling me it ranges from $4 to $80?
Okay, so the retail price for Hot Wheels is $4 for the basic, we call it mainline.
Main line, okay?
Then $10 for a premium line. These
Premium
cars
line.
are more
But-
detailed.
But they're the same car, exactly the same car.
So it could be the same car, right, but the premium one, which is the $10, it
Yeah.
can have rubber tires, more details, better packaging.
Okay.
Yeah, but over the years, as
Yeah.
the car gets rarer, as
Yeah.
the demand gets higher,
Yeah.
it increases in value.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's only two, main and premium.
For the Hot Wheels, for simplicity, for the most basic
Yeah.
one, yes, but there's definitely more like rare stuff out there that you can find in the market.
But then you were saying that some cars can open door, close door, open hood, that kind of stuff.
Yes, you're right. So it depends on the series. So for example, in the older years, Hot Wheels have like many weird, very interesting series which
Yeah.
can do like change colors, that kind of thing.
Change color?
Yeah, so they have this color shifters line. If you put it in cold water, it changes one color. You put it in hot water. Yeah, Hot Wheels actually, they have a lot of
Are you serious?
yes.
The car you put inside the
Cold water,
and it change color?
it will change color. You put in hot water, it changes color. Yeah. I guess I'm so numb to the idea of Hot Wheels that, I mean, you don't collect Hot Wheels, so I would see why you're excited with that. But for me, I'm just like, oh yeah, color shifters.
Is it some special paint that they put on the car? What is it?
I don't know. I tried researching online. I don't know how they do it. I forgot.
You have
how
those?
I have a few of those color shifters, but it's actually not as, you can easily find it in Kiddie Palace, Toys R Us, this color.
Color
They still
shifter.
have it. Thankfully, they still have this
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on. So if you wanna, check it out, it's
Yeah.
still available in Kiddie Palace. But that was just one example of what I mean by like all these special Hot Wheels
Wow.
cars.
Wait,
Yeah.
then coming back to the point, you said that how much you spent on
Yes,
3,000 cars and then you were downsizing.
To around 1,000 plus.
So
now.
how much have you spent versus how much is it worth right now?
Okay, so when people ask me that, I
Yeah.
get that question a lot.
Yeah.
Understandably so. How much did I spend? Unfortunately, I don't have like an Excel sheet
Okay.
to keep track of my spendings. But
Okay.
I think from what I last mentioned in like my interviews, I usually just say like, I think
think?
around $10,000 to $15,000 I spent.
$10,000 to $15,000.
But that's over a span of a few years.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I bought one day. It was over a period of a
Which
few
is very
years.
impressive because I think a lot of people at your age,
Mm.
in 24, right? I would consider this an asset considering you. Oh, sorry. Because you said you bought. How much is it worth?
So that's. So how
Yeah.
much is it worth?
Yeah.
I don't know. I estimated it to be like $25,000 to $30,000 worth. All right. So I gotta elaborate
Yeah,
on that because
25,000 to
one thing about me
yeah.
is, remember how I mentioned I started YouTube like
Yeah.
back in secondary school.
Yes.
I started collecting seriously within that era also.
Yeah.
So at that point of time, nobody was collecting Hot Wheels. I remember
Okay.
going to Kiddie Palace.
Yeah.
I could find the cars that I want.
Yeah.
But suddenly now in the 2020
Yeah.
era, there was this sudden huge wave of new collectors.
Okay.
And suddenly it was so much harder to find the cars that I want. There was suddenly a huge hype, especially for Japanese cars.
How do you even know what you want? You see the car on the street and then you go like, I want to go and buy a Hot Wheel version of this.
Also, different people have different takes lah. Some
Yeah.
people maybe they like Nissans. They like
Yeah.
Nissan Skylines.
Yeah.
So they will look for the Hot Wheels Nissan Skylines.
Yeah.
For me, it's more of like, hey, I think if the car looks nice,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a Nissan or a Mustang. I mean, I personally like
Yeah.
Mustangs. As long as the car looks nice, for me, I'll buy
But
that.
how do you even get to have exposure to knowing how the car looks like? You see it on the streets or what?
Oh, so are you like asking like, how do I know which Hot Wheels car come out? Then how do I know what to look for? Or
No,
something like that?
like how do you get exposed to the car? How do you know how, like, for example, you're on the bus, you're a student, right? Maybe you're taking the bus and then you on the street, you go like, oh, this car very nice. I want to buy a Hot Wheel version of this car. Or you are scrolling through like TikTok. Back then there was no TikTok. But how do you know?
I think a little bit of everything.
A little
It
bit
could
of
be
it,
like
yeah.
seeing a Ferrari on the road.
And then you go like, I want to own a
"Oh,
Hot Wheel version of that.
Yeah, it'd be cool to get a Hot Wheels version of that.
Ah.
Or sometimes I see on my feed
Yeah.
or Instagram or YouTube, I see people like showing their
Back
Hot Wheels
then
car.
have YouTube and Instagram?
In the secondary school, still have. YouTube have already.
my
Yeah, so
my
it's quite
time doesn't
prominent.
have, okay?
I see. Yeah, my one have already.
So you're telling me that in your whole entire career, you've spent about 10 to 15K?
a really, really
A ballpark, like
rough
a ballpark, yeah?
I would say so, around there. I really don't know, but I would say it's around there. Yeah.
So you're telling me it's worth 30 now?
I would like to think so because although I went from 3,000 to 1,000 cars,
Yeah.
my 1,000 cars I have right now,
Premium
they're
ones.
very premium. They're the more exquisite compared to having the 3,000 of the cheap, I would say cheaper
yeah.
Hot Wheels cars. So yeah.
So assuming today you want to cash out on your 1,000 cars,
Ooh.
where are you going to find the people who wants to buy it? And
Oh,
would they buy it?
realistically speaking,
Yeah.
I don't know whether
Yeah.
there'll be people that will be interested to buy the entire collection because usually each collector have their own
Preference.
preference.
Yeah.
So realistically, I don't know. But let's imagine there is.
Yeah.
I would think maybe there would be someone that want to buy.
As a Hot
the
Wheel
collection.
collector, do you mind if the car is outside or inside the original packaging?
So for me, personally, I like to open my cars.
Open everything.
Yeah, but one thing you should know is that
Yeah.
people don't like that because when you open the cars, right, it
Yeah.
actually loses value.
Yeah, exposed to elements like dust and
Elements, dust, and just the fact that it's not in the packaging.
yeah.
People say that it loses half a value, which I think is total BS.
Yeah.
So, honestly
Yeah.
speaking, but people say that it loses half of the value when it's opened. Yeah, but personally, I like to I like to open them. I like to cherish the car and.
So would
enjoy
you
it.
buy a car that has been opened by someone else?
I would. If it means buying the car at a cheaper price compared to buying it at a more expensive but still packaged, when I'm planning to open it anyway, might as well buy it loose.
Wow.
Yeah.
So interesting. So you have kind of, ballpark figure speaking, doubled your asset in value?
I would like to think so, yes. Yes, that's right. I have cars, I've made a few videos. I have this one car, it's called how you call it? So I've bought cars before which I bought for $8, $10. Ferraris.
Yeah.
So one fun fact is Hot Wheels does not have the license to make Ferrari Hot Wheels cars anymore. Yeah.
So previously they...
Yeah, up till 2016, Hot Wheels were releasing Ferrari cars every year.
Yeah.
2016 it stopped.
Oh,
so
man.
do you know what that means, right? Discontinued. So you know what happened? You know what will happen to the prices?
Shoot up.
Real estate, of course you should know, right? It shot up in price. So I had a few
God.
Ferrari cars in my collection that overnight just suddenly are worth more. When the news broke out that, hey, Hot Wheels is not making Ferrari cars
So
anymore.
now which company can make Ferraris?
As of right now, I know there are two brands. One is Burago and one is Kyosho.
Oh, never heard before. Only know Hot
And
Wheels.
Tomica also.
Oh yeah, I heard Tomica.
Yeah, Tomica makes Ferraris also. But surprisingly, they don't have that much hype compared to Hot Wheels. Collectors will still think the Ferrari hype is with Hot Wheels. Yeah.
Well, so Hot Wheel Ferraris are now like
Worth
extinct and it's worth a lot.
They are extinct and they are worth
How much is
lot.
one back then when you buy a Hot Wheel Ferrari?
Yeah, so just like most mainlines, it's $4, maybe $10, $8.
Premium line?
For the yes, correct, for the premium line.
Yeah.
So last time they had this thing called a Ferrari racer.
Yeah.
So Hot Wheels, they had this entire line
Yeah.
just for Ferraris.
Okay.
So I think they're being sold at 7-Eleven.
What? Even 7-Eleven you can get?
Yeah. So back then, can you imagine, like, I saw it everywhere I saw it.
Oh,
but
man.
I was like, yeah, whatever.
Just buy one and keep for yourself.
Yeah, just buy one keep for myself. It was all over Kiddie Palace.
Oh my
Toys R
gosh.
Us. And
Oh
now
my God.
people are looking back like, oh wow, I can't believe there was an era where you could just easily.
How much is it
find a
one now?
Ferrari. So if you're talking about maybe there's Ferraris which maybe most collectors don't really like.
Yeah.
It could be like 20, 30 carded. But there's this one golden Enzo Ferrari. It's not really gold, but it's like chrome.
Yeah.
Last I heard it was fetching $400, $500
For one?
just because it's like gold.
In
chrome.
or outside of the box?
In the packaging, $400 or $500.
Outside packaging, how much is it worth?
If you're considering it loses around half the value, then we're talking about $300 here.
So you're telling me it was something that you could have bought in 7-Eleven for $4?
Yes.
And it was everywhere.
It was everywhere.
And now it's worth $200 out of the box and $400 in the box.
$400-$500.
How many
in
of
the
those do you
box.
have?
So I don't have that gold Enzo anymore.
Do you want it though?
I mean, not that particular one,
Yeah.
but I did have a few Ferraris back then, which I cashed out in. I'll just put it that way. I cashed
You
out.
cashed out?
Yep.
You sold it?
Yep. When after a few years, I've kept it. I like the car, but I was like, I think at one point it just like, wait, this car is worth that much? Like,
So it makes
no
more
way.
sense to get it back in cash.
Yeah, so I thought like, hey, you know what? I don't mind selling it if it means 2 weeks of allowance for myself because I can sell it and have
What?
like $80, $100.
What if
Why
it
not?
goes up to 1,000?
So that's the game with Hot Wheels, right?
Yeah.
Like, prices sometimes go up, prices sometimes go down. But for me back then, I felt like, hey, you know what? I could use the money.
Yeah.
I could use the money to buy even more Hot Wheels cars, which can also go up in value if
Yeah.
we're talking about investment wise.
Yeah.
So I thought, why not just sell my Ferrari cars, sell any cars that I feel like, hey, you know
Yeah.
what? I don't mind selling this off.
So you got no more Ferraris right now?
As of right now, I only have a few. I
Yeah.
have a few. Because if I were to buy it again, it already
Yeah.
have escalated in price.
Oh.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe in the next year or so,
Something that you buy today might get discontinued.
it might get discontinued, or or Ferrari might go back to Hot Wheels. Then the price of Ferrari will shoot
Oh
down.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. There is elements of that.
Yeah. So are you familiar with the brand Bugatti?
Yes,
yeah.
Bugatti, yes.
Yeah. So Bugatti, for a long time,
Yeah.
Hot Wheels didn't make Bugattis, and up till last year,
Yeah.
they managed to get the Bugatti license.
So who was
Bugatti-
making Bugattis before Hot Wheels?
I think Burago was Burago one of them. I think Burago, and along with a few brands that I can't think at the tip of my tongue, they were making Bugattis, but no one really
Bought
paid
it.
attention
Yeah,
to
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Hot Wheels making it. So for a long time, Bugattis were worth a lot, just like Ferraris.
Yeah,
Up till last year,
yeah.
Bugattis came back to Hot Wheels.
And the
crashed
price
down.
just
The
crashed.
price has crashed.
Oh, so you're telling me there could be a chance where Hot Wheels get to make Ferraris again?
It's possible.
Oh,
it's possible.
actually you're right.
Yeah. So there's really this. If you're talking about investment,
Yeah.
there's really this game. There's also a game that can be played with Hot Wheels. Yeah.
So, okay, how do you find the money to invest in all the cars that you currently own?
Oh yeah, so one of them was through YouTube. You know, I was
Yeah.
fortunate enough to get it monetized.
Yeah.
So when I earn money from YouTube,
Yeah.
it's quite like an endless cycle. I
Yeah.
make videos on
Yeah.
Hot Wheels cars to
Yes.
earn money to
To
buy
buy-
Hot Wheels cars to
Ah.
make YouTube on Hot Wheels cars. So it was like a really fun cycle. You know, I mean, you know, I would like to think I would say like, oh, I got save money, and you know, let's admit it, I didn't. I just kept buying.
So you just monetize on your toys, and then you buy more toys to monetize on it again via YouTube.
For the most part, yes, yeah,
Yeah,
through YouTube.
So the viral video that really took
yeah.
your channel off was the one that you caught the
The
little
kid
boy
stealing.
in Toys R Us.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So you're telling me from then on, all your other videos are getting like a lot of views.
I think from there, people subscribed to me. So
Yeah.
up till this day, people were like, "Oh, Drifter, I remember when I first started watching you."
They
the
call
first,
you Drifter.
Oh yes, that's what call me Drifter. Yeah, they were like, "Hey, Drifter." Yeah. They say, "Oh, the first video I watched was you with the kids stealing
Yeah,
video."
yeah,
That
yeah.
Ever since I started watching your videos, I'm like, "Oh, you know." So there are people that actually came from that video that eventually became a long time subscriber of mine.
Then did your previous videos, the ones that you say is not so good, the ones that you film in Sec 2, did those videos get more views after your viral video?
I think I was so fixated on that viral video, right?
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention to the
Yeah, the
other
previous
videos.
ones anymore.
I would like to think maybe because
Yeah.
you know I think people they will like check out my channel, right?
Yes.
See, oh, what kind of videos he make.
Yes.
So I would like to think maybe it did get some views,
Yeah.
but not enough for me to notice like, hey, my other videos are getting views as well. Yeah.
How many videos have you made so far in your career from Sec 2? That is admirable, by the way. It's crazy.
Thank you.
Sec 2.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, thank
You're
you.
a true hustler.
It's been a fun journey.
Yeah.
I wish I knew because I do.
Would you say 1,000 videos?
Oh, I think definitely more than 1,000.
Way more
Because
than
we're talking
1,000
about Instagram and TikTok too.
Yeah.
Across the three,
Yeah.
definitely more than 1,000 videos.
Do you shoot in different like format? Like for YouTube, you purposely shoot in like
Landscape.
vertical and then
So before before YouTube Shorts and
Yeah.
Instagram Reels,
Yeah.
yes, YouTube will be landscape.
Ah.
Then TikTok is
so you would take two
Vertical.
times.
if let's say I want to review the same car, yes, I had to do it 2 times. Yeah.
Why don't you just do it and then you crop in?
Honestly speaking, I also don't know why I didn't think of that. I feel maybe partially because of the format.
Ah.
TikTok has to be less than 60 seconds.
Yeah.
But YouTube,
Yeah.
I want to unbox a box full of cars, 10 minutes long, that kind of thing.
Oh. So as of right now, do you see your cars as investment? I mean, as you're getting older, you're getting more wise with money, money management and stuff
That's
like
right.
that. Back then it was a like hobby, right? But then you started monetizing. Do you see that right now as a form of investment?
Yeah, so I think the short answer is yes, you know. But as much as possible, I also like to encourage people to enjoy the hobby.
Enjoy it, yeah.
You know, you invest in it, you have fun with it. I think it's cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's cool to think that, wow, my Hot Wheels car, which
Yeah,
I
it could
own,
be worth like $400 from when I bought it
it's a
$4.
crazy thought. I can't deny that. Like, wow, actually, like Hot Wheels can actually earn money. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
But the same thing, at the same time, I have fun with it. Like
Yeah.
I said, I was sharing just now with Thomas. I bring my cars to school, just play with it, that kind of thing. People are like, oh, you crazy? Why you bring your rare car to school to
Yeah,
play with? I'm
yeah.
like, I don't care. I just want to have fun with it. And if the time comes, I want to sell it.
Yeah.
I just sell it. I just make sure that I take care of it.
Have you ever damaged it, like scratched it, dropped on the floor, and then something fell off, and then you go like, wow, damn shag.
Yes.
What happened?
So I think there's been a few cases where battery hands are. So
Yeah.
maybe I dropped the car on the table or the floor
Yeah.
even. And I'll just be like staring at it. I'm like, oh no. Like my heart will sink. My
Yeah.
heart will literally sink
Yeah.
when I see a scratch,
Yeah.
especially if it's a car that I really like. So
Yeah.
it has happened before a few times. It's not a good feeling.
So at which point did your YouTube channel turn around, like the viral video? Was it still in secondary school?
So the kid selling video, I think it happened in poly. So that was
Poly.
2 or 3 years after I started the YouTube channel.
So you're telling me in poly you were already monetizing on your Hot Wheel?
Yeah, I remember last time I was earning like a few cents,
Yeah.
like 2 cents, 3
Yeah.
cents
For every video you
for
post?
every day on a daily basis.
You post
will-
every day?
Back then I post every few days, but
Uh-huh.
YouTube will consolidate it. So like, on this day, this is how much you earn: 2 cents, 3 cents.
How does YouTube pay you according to your views or what?
So it's by views.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's usually through views, and longer videos will earn you more money
Yeah.
usually. Yeah, so it depends on the number of videos I posted. And
So
on.
you're telling me that the money that you make on YouTube could fully fund your passion for Hot Wheels?
Yes. So if you're talking about like those big YouTube channels, right?
Yeah.
They post a video from like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
but it's still gaining views.
Ah.
It's passive income.
Are you serious?
Yes. Even videos I posted like years ago,
Yeah.
they're still maybe getting 100 views, 200 views a day, but that's
Ah.
still like a few cents. And we're talking about thousands of videos here.
Yeah.
Multiply that,
Yeah.
and it's like it adds up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like passive income.
Okay.
Videos I made from years ago are still.
Let's talk about ballpark. Ballpark.
Okay.
No need specific figure.
Alright,
How much
alright.
do you roughly make from one YouTube video?
So, from one YouTube video, it it depends. Because,
Yeah.
like I mentioned, videos that are longer will earn more. So, the
Yes.
current CPM now for my channel
Yeah.
is for every 1,000 views, I usually get around 2 to 3 USD.
Okay.
And that's for a short video.
Yes.
Obviously, if the video is longer, I can put more ads in
Yeah.
it. They can earn more
How do
money.
you put ads?
How do you put ads? So, when your video, when your channel is monetized,
Yeah.
you have this option to, you want to put an ad like at the 3-minute mark.
Also, you decide.
I can decide, or I can just let YouTube decide.
Okay.
But usually, as much as I can,
Yeah.
I'll decide when to put the ads lah.
Yeah. And roughly how much do you make? Roughly.
Okay, so every month
Yeah.
on bad days,
Yeah.
it will just be like $300-400 USD.
Minimum sure have.
Maybe like sure have like around 300-400 USD. But if I let's say near Christmas time,
Yeah.
Christmas time advertisers are willing to pay more money
Yeah,
to advertise their stuff because it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Whoa, the revenue for that will like double or even triple.
Yeah.
So we're talking about like 1,000 plus
Yes.
during the Christmas season. for
USD.
videos, USD.
How long
Yeah.
does it take for you to make and film and edit a video?
On average, this is probably not a good habit of mine.
Yeah.
But I like to try to finish everything by one day. Yeah. 'Cause I don't like leaving things unfinished.
I know what you mean. Like the impatient, you want to see the result.
Yes.
You film already, you just want to like quickly post and see
Yes,
the
that's
result.
why.
Oh
Content
man, I
creators-
totally
That's the
understand.
content creator mindset.
I
yes.
totally understand it. You just want to know if the video is going to perform well, how many views you're going to get. You just want to see all the B-rolls that you took and put everything together, right?
Piece them together and just delete them, upload
Yeah,
and delete.
delete
That-
them.
Yeah, you know.
And then you save one copy in a drive and then you just delete all the other random footage, right?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, okay. Then
You
I
feel
can,
me?
I
Yeah,
totally-
yeah. And that's why I say like that's something I think we can improve on because when there are videos where I thought, wow, it took me 3 days, 4 days, but
Yeah.
those are the videos that does the best.
Ah.
Those videos that maybe I put in a little bit more effort to
Yeah.
edit and
Yeah.
those videos will usually perform better. Yeah.
And you're telling me you shoot everything on your iPhone
Yes.
and you edit everything on CapCut.
Everything is done on my iPhone. Yes. CapCut, everything is edited, whether it's at home or on the train or waiting for the bus or whatever. I'll just edit my phone whenever I can.
Then do you use like Final Cut or Premiere Pro or any professional editing software?
No, I don't know how to use those. I would love to learn it one day, but
Yeah.
right now I don't know how to use those.
Hey, this is a very crazy story. You started in Sec 2 with
Yeah.
no experience whatsoever.
Not at all.
Everything done on your phone.
Yes.
70,000 subscribers on YouTube.
On YouTube, yes. Yep.
And you're monetizing it
Yep.
from such a young age to fund your hobbies, to get more cars, to monetize it more.
Yes.
This is a crazy journey.
When you put it that, I didn't think of it that
It
way
is
actually.
so
yeah.
crazy. Like, wow, this is amazing. And you're doing what you love.
It is. I love the hobby. I'm so glad I picked up this hobby. You know, it's a fun hobby. I
Yeah.
met many new different people. I love the hobby, man.
Do you think this hobby is gonna last you like till you're older? Do you think you will grow out of it?
I hope not. Maybe like I'll slow down a bit, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't feel I'll ever quit it. And I hope that more people can find the joy in
Yeah.
playing with toy cars as compared to just like, you know, how they say nowadays, just kids playing on the iPad, that kind of thing. I think toys has some fun to it lah. And I hope more people can find the joy in playing with Hot Wheels cars like I did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Playing them on the track sets. So,
How has your level of passion be for Hot Wheels from day one, Sec 2 till right now?
like my passion lah.
Yeah, the passion, the level of passion. Is it the same or has it gone up or down?
I guess for Hot Wheels, it's a roller coaster, honestly speaking.
Also, there are months where you're like, yeah, I don't want to buy cars.
Yeah, there are months where I'm like, hey, wow, so, you know, a lot of good things coming up. But there are days I'm just like, whoa, I feel like I gotta take a step back, you
Yeah.
know. Maybe I just say straight up, maybe I no money. I don't have the budget, I don't have the funds to buy the cars I want. So it's really like a roller coaster.
Do you work part time?
I've worked like part-time jobs before and also NS lah, you know.
Oh,
I was
yeah?
mentioning earlier. So
Yeah.
during NS, so during NS I had
Yeah.
an extra source of income.
Yeah.
So there were like even higher peaks.
Or
during
because
that
you had
period.
time to edit more videos and
Uh,
then NS was paying you? Is that what you're saying?
I guess you would say, I mean, I do edit my videos sometimes while
Yeah.
I'm in camp,
Yeah.
but because of the allowance, you know,
Yeah.
NS they
Yeah.
pay,
Correct.
so I got like an extra source of income from my allowance. Then
Yeah.
that let me like buy more cars if I wanted to.
What is your source of poison? Some people, they get poisoned by scrolling through YouTube and Googling what cars is coming out. What is your source of poison?
Oh, many platforms. Could be YouTube, could be
Carousel?
Instagram. Carousel, sometimes I'll just see through Carousel, see like, hey, what Hot Wheels car are people selling, maybe at a good price, at a bargain maybe. Or it could be from TikTok. Sometimes I come across like Hot Wheels videos too, saying, hey, this is coming out, that kind of thing. That's how I keep up to date with all the latest Poison. So, yeah.
How do you what is your eventual goal? Like to fill up a whole wall of Hot Wheel cars? Is that eventual goal you want to get to in this Hot Wheel journey?
Well, I mean, that would be the dream, you know.
Yeah.
But we all know that that's like.
Is that really the dream? Like you want to have your whole wall with Hot Wheel cars, like from?
Yes, I mean, I think that's every Hot Wheels collector's dream to
Really?
just be able to
deck out.
like have like unlimited money and just get all the cars that they want, you know.
Wow.
But realistically speaking,
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, I think the fun of the hobby is
The journey.
going after them. Yes, the journey.
And the chasing.
Whether it's
Correct.
chasing it after getting it
Yeah,
and finding
yeah,
a good price or
yes.
meeting new people
Correct.
from the, you know, I think the journey is the fun part of collecting also, not just the Hot Wheels cars themselves.
How big would you say the community is in Singapore, the Hot Wheel collector community?
I would say it's pretty niche, you know, not compared to other like big hobbies like maybe football or basketball.
Yeah.
You know, not a lot of people in Singapore per
Yeah,
se
yeah.
collect diecast cars, but it's there, you know.
Yeah.
Especially like the event. There was an event earlier this weekend. That's when people will gather and
Yeah.
collect, you know, all the
How
collectors.
many
will
of them
come.
would you say? Like 1,000 people?
Probably in the thousands range. Like there's like thousands of collectors out there in Singapore.
And would you
yeah.
say you're one of the most influential people in this space? Meaning to say you not just collect, you make videos of it, people watch your videos. Would you say that
In Singapore,
in Singapore?
I would say I think I'm number one.
Number one, in
Number
terms of
one.
content creation on the class.
Singapore number
Yeah.
one, and if talking internationally, I'm
Yeah.
one of the top right there compared to other well-known content creators out there. Yes.
Then do they come to you and say, hey bro, can you feature my car? Like because you don't have, I have, you don't have, hey, can you talk about it?
or like when other collectors want me to feature their
yeah,
cars.
like feature their cars.
Actually,
Has it ever happened like that?
Actually, I mean, at most there are subscribers of mine that send
Yeah.
fan mail.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, they send me
What
fan
is
mail.
a fan mail?
So fan mail is like I have a fan from the USA. He's like,
Yeah.
hey Drifter, I really love your videos.
Yeah.
Can I like send you a bunch of cars for you to unbox and share with your viewers? You know,
And,
like just
and they give you the car.
and they give me the car, you
Oh,
know.
wow.
And it has happened a few times. I have a few videos of it on YouTube. Family
Wow.
unboxing. Yeah, so that's why I really like appreciate like the journey and all my subscribers, honestly. So yeah,
Wow.
it does happen that
Yes.
they're just like, hey, here's a bunch of cars from the USA.
Yeah.
We know that Singapore don't have it because these are USA exclusive cars. Please go and like review them for you and that kind of thing.
So when you review, what aspects do you cover? Like wow, how the car feels? What aspects do you cover?
Okay, so how the car feels,
Yeah.
how it looks,
How it looks?
you know, sometimes maybe the packaging, although
Yeah.
I open it. Yeah. So it just sometimes I just talk about the car, anything that I can talk about the car. Maybe it's based on a real car.
Yeah.
It could be based on a iconic legend car that was in the 1950s.
Yeah.
It was a very famous racing car.
Yeah.
Anything that I can think of.
So you don't have like a scale like okay today I will based on this car I will talk about the wheels how the glue sticks everything together. You don't have like a specific scale.
No, not
metric,
exactly.
metric.
Yeah, because that's the cool thing about collecting cars. Every car has its own identity, you know.
Yeah.
For example, it could be a Nissan Skyline. Oh, Nissan Skyline are well known for this, well known for that.
Yeah.
Or maybe another car by Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
They release this, it has an opening front hood.
Yeah.
Or there's like a skateboard in the back. A
Yeah.
small little, like, nice little touch that Hot Wheels or other brands will add to their cars.
Do you think that this will translate to you eventually wanting to own real cars in Singapore? Like I want to buy a Nissan Skyline, like yeah.
Or that would be
Well,
the
but
dream.
that do you think?
That would be the. Maybe my dream car is
Yeah.
it's called a Ford Mustang.
Yes.
That's my dream car.
Is it in
so-
Singapore though?
It's in Singapore. Yes, it came.
Hardly see.
It came recently into I think 2015. Because Mustang is an American brand
Yeah.
car. You know,
Yeah.
American cars are left-handed. So
Correct.
for the longest time, there was not really any Mustangs. Till
Yeah.
like 2015, like oh my god, my dream can come true if I want a
Yes.
Mustang.
Yes.
So yes, hopefully, you know, in the future I can afford one maybe and drive a Mustang myself.
So you
future.
are into rail cars as well. Like you eventually hope to get your license and buy one and buy maybe a few like that.
Yes, it was through my love for Hot Wheels, I would say,
Yeah.
that passion, my love for real cars
Yes.
also. I
Yes.
think there's like a relationship between the two. I get excited seeing a Hot Wheels car
Yeah.
as much as I see a car driving like a Ferrari or Lamborghini
Yeah,
driving
yeah,
on the road.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a relationship between the two.
So you want to have
I would want to, I know Singapore, the
Yeah, it's very
cars
expensive.
like blah blah blah. But I don't care how, I want to find a way and get the Mustang one day, bro. Yeah.
Wow.
I want to get it one day, seriously. Yeah.
Okay. So now as you know, you're in university.
Yes.
Let's talk a bit about real estate.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Like, do you think properties in Singapore right now is expensive?
So I think the politically correct, or what most people would say is yes.
Yeah.
I would say it's expensive. The houses in Singapore.
Do you
are
have like a
expensive.
dream home?
I guess something, not say simple, but you know, just a nice little house. Possibly if I can find a nice room or place to display all my cars in the future, just for me to like admire and
Okay,
see.
so when you say display, you mean you take that out of the box and then you put them into a new
Maybe in a
transparent
shelf,
box.
acrylic case, you know, just a wall full of shelves just to slot individual cars inside.
How do you,
something
what do
like
your parents think about your hobby?
that. Oh,
What do they say?
okay, so as where it stands, they're supportive of it. I'm really thankful that my parents support my hobby because they do know about my content creation.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be lying if I share with you a story.
Yeah.
So there was one point of time where I think when I was reaching the 1,000 mark,
Yeah.
you know, before the
You mean
3,000
subscriber?
mark, cars, you know,
Oh,
my
cars,
room was
okay,
full
yeah.
of cars.
Yeah.
So my mom and dad, they came into my room.
Uh.
They sat down on my bed.
Yeah.
I turned my computer chair to them. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, hey mom, dad, like, oh, what's
Yeah,
up?
yeah.
So they just started talking like, hey, son, we asked you, do you really like collecting Hot Wheels?
Yeah.
Why do you like collecting Hot Wheels so much?
Wait, they only start asking at your 1,000 mark?
I mean, sometimes they see that I enjoy it, but I guess they had the serious talk. They just sat down there and they started asking me like,
Wow,
oh,
okay.
you know, they asked me like, oh, you really enjoy this hobby? And then, hey, don't you feel like you have too many cars, man? And I'm like,
Yeah.
actually, you're right. Like, I feel like I have too many cars, you
Yeah.
know, but I really find the joy in them.
Yes.
And maybe I hope that they understand. Maybe because it's not something bad. It's
Correct,
not like we're
yeah,
doing
it's
something.
not like drugs or anything.
Yeah, it's not like
Yeah.
drugs or anything. Like I say, yeah, drugs. I don't get the video to get demonetized, but those, yeah, it was just something simple. It was
Yes.
a nice little
Yeah.
hobby. It wasn't harmful, so I guess that's why they are okay with it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So after I tell them like what I told you, like why I like collect Hot Wheels, they're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense.
Do they buy cars for you?
Yes, when I was a kid, they, you know, when it's my birthday
Yeah.
or Christmas,
Yeah.
they'll buy cars for me. Or let's say like, we go Toys R Us.
Yeah.
You know how kids can be. Ma,
Yeah.
can I buy these cars? You know, I ask them if they can buy for me. Then,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes I get a yes, sometimes no. Maybe it depends on the situation. But they do buy cars for me.
Wow,
Hot Wheels, yeah.
that's very. It's good that your parents are supportive.
Yeah,
of you.
and I really appreciate that. Yeah, they support
Okay.
me.
Okay, so is there any last things you want to tell the people out there who are watching
Mm-hmm.
and they want to have a side hustle and something like what you have? I'm like in total awe of your journey. This is
Thank you.
So I only spend money on my hobbies. It has never once monetized it back for me.
I guess like depending on what hobby, I think the most important thing is enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I get what you mean. Like it'd
Yeah.
be cool if your hobby can be a side hustle.
Yeah,
For sure. You
exactly,
know?
right?
Maybe
Yeah.
can maybe we'll talk about it later. Can vlog while cycling or something. I don't
Mm.
know. I think there's always opportunity to monetize your hobby in one way or another. You know, but just important thing is enjoy lah. Enjoy the hobby and appreciate it. That's what I would say lah.
Okay, that's very good. Okay, so this is the end. Do remember to check out his channel. We're gonna post the videos and we'll see you in the next one.
See you.